The 92 Viking is considered by many the gold standard in the sportfish industry, and to me is the perfect combination of yacht meets sportfish, not just with her interior volume, but also with her exterior deck spaces. This 92 Viking is an absolute weapon. It comes to you with high speed, fishability, and all the amenities that you typically find on a yacht. I'm Clarke from Denison Yachting, and today I'm going to take you on board. The first thing that you're going to notice about the 92, whether she's passing you on the water or if you're approaching her on the dock, is her imposing profile. Combine her 30-foot bridge clearance with her custom Palm Beach tuna tower and her 55-foot Rupp outriggers, and you have that wow factor. Like most large sportfish boats, you have your cockpit and your mezzanine area. On the 92, you then have an additional aft deck area. So you have 3 tiers that flow seamlessly together. The owner of this particular boat considers the aft deck one of his favorite places on board because he likes to do a lot of fishing with his grandkids, and the aft deck gives him a great vantage point when watching his family enjoy themselves in the cockpit. Starting all the way aft in the cockpit, you have your centerline live bait well built into the transom, complete with viewing window. Forward of that, you have your release fighting chair, and below that, you have direct access to your Seakeeper 3500 gyro stabilizer, and outboard of that to port and starboard, you have live bait wells. I want to point out that this 92 Viking is tournament rigged for fishing, and you're going to notice some of those features in the forward section of the cockpit. For example, to port, you're going to have deep freezer space for bait. To starboard, you're going to have your Eskimo ice chipper and additional bait storage. Just forward of the fighting chair, you're going to have a hatch that gives you direct access down towards the engine room. We first entered the utility room where you're going to have your AC shore power converters that give you the ability to plug into shore power anywhere in the world. Moving forward, you enter the surprisingly spacious crew accommodations. To port, you have your cabin that sleeps 2 in a bunk room. To starboard, the ensuite, and in between your crew mess complete with refrigerator drawers, microwave, and built-in washer dryer. Passing through the final bulkhead, you enter your engine room where you're going to have your twin MTU 16V 2000 series M96L engines, 2600 horsepower each with very low hours. Stepping up from the cockpit, you reach your first vantage point, which is the mezzanine that has seating for up to 6 guests. And then above that, you have your aft deck that also has seating for up to 8. To starboard, you have your built-in grill. To port, you have a very well thought out ladder that gives you direct access to your second deck. And centerline, you have seating for 6 with a high gloss varnish table. Continuing forward through 2 automatic double doors, you enter the main salon, which is where you will first notice some of the yacht quality finishes. The main salon is the most popular gathering place on board. If you wanted a little bit more privacy, you'd probably continue up to the Sky Lounge. But in the main salon, immediately to port, you have 2 L-shaped settees for seating up to 12 guests. Forward of that, you have your formal dining. To starboard, you have your open galley. Aft of that, you have your pop-up TV, 2 captain's chairs, and a wet bar, all of which can accommodate up to 20 guests. Stepping into the galley, which to me is one of the highlights on board, you have your dual-level granite countertops, which are flanked by 5 bar stools. Below the countertops, you'll find your 6 Sub-Zero refrigerator freezer drawers, dishwasher, Kenmore trash compactor, and Miele oven. Above the oven, you'll have your Miele glass stovetop. To starboard, your dual sinks, and above that, your convection oven. Before continuing to the guest accommodations, let's step up to the Sky Lounge, which is accessible by this staircase. Entering the Sky Lounge to port, you're going to have your L-shaped settee, 2 refrigerator drawers to starboard. Moving forward, you have your captain's chair. To port, you have a pop-up TV with additional storage below it, and direct access to the aft deck. Here on the aft deck, you have a full helm to starboard, great for docking. Opposite that to port, you have an L-shaped settee, which is the best vantage point for watching the action in the cockpit. This takes us to the most impressive space on board, the bridge deck. One of the most important places on board a high-performance vessel like the 92 Viking is going to be the helm station, which you see behind me. It's very well laid out, you have easy access to all your electronics, and 360 degrees of visibility. The helm station is highlighted by 5 15-inch glass LED monitors. Another Day in Paradise is equipped with the optional performance package. This package is a combination of Simrad, Garmin, Furuno, and ICOM navigational equipment. Anchoring this space is a centerline captain's chair and 2 bench seats to port and starboard, both of which comfortably seat 2 adults, all of which are manufactured by STID. From here, it's not hard to imagine pushing 40 knots from over 20 feet up. Located in the helm station at the top of the tower, you're going to have your Garmin 15-inch monitor, Simrad autopilot, ICOM, VHF, bow thruster controls, as well as your MTU engine controls and gauges. Let's continue forward on the main deck. Now, before we step down to the guest accommodations, to port, you're going to have your day head, and to starboard, you're going to have your doghouse. Stepping down into your companionway and following it aft, you enter the master cabin. One of the key highlights in the 92 Viking is the largest in class full beam master cabin. Very well laid out, excellent headroom that continues all the way to the guest accommodations, and large glass windows that you're going to see both to port and starboard. Opposite of your king-size berth is your flat screen TV and large walk-in closet. To starboard, you'll have your vanity, to port, a settee, both of which have large windows above. After the cabin is your modern his and hers ensuite that are connected by a centerline shower. Continuing forward, you have the smallest of the 6 cabins that comfortably sleeps 2 in a double bed, again with ensuite. Continuing down the companionway to starboard, you have your first VIP cabin that has a centerline queen berth. Then to port, your 4th cabin that has 2 single berths. And then all the way forward, your 2nd VIP that also has a centerline queen. Each cabin is complete with its own ensuite. Finishing off the guest accommodations, you have your full-size washer dryer. Finally, we end today's walkthrough on the bow. The bow really puts into perspective how imposing the profile of this boat is. Behind me, you're going to notice the 2,200-pound Nautical Structures davit with telescoping boom that easily allows you to hold up to an 18-foot skiff here on the bow. We've just finished showcasing the 2015 92-foot Viking enclosed bridge, Another Day in Paradise. Viking's done an extremely good job of combining the aesthetics of a sport fish boat with the luxury accommodations typically found on a yacht. I'm Alex Clarke from Denison Yachting, and I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me on board. If you'd like to receive full technical specifications or a brochure, feel free to contact me at any time.